Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel, Becoming the Best Me. My name is Beverly, but you can call me Bev or you can call me B. For those visiting for the first time, thank you for stopping by. And for those returning viewers, thank you for returning. I'm here in my kitchen this afternoon/evening, and I'm going to share with you one of my dishes that I do for meal prep. I'm going to try to not make the video too long, but just try to condense it to show you the meal that I'm going to prepare. Because I think so far I just shared with you what I eat for breakfast, and I wanted to show you that I eat more than breakfast. I've been on a GLP weight loss journey since January 26th of this year and lost over 51 pounds. I haven't calculated the weight that I've lost for this week, so let's just leave it at 51 plus pounds. And throughout the journey, I've learned a lot about my body and having a better relationship with food. Learn what my body needs, and it's a journey, and you're in tune with your body speaks to you and it will tell you what it needs if you're in tune with yourself. That's one of the things I've always done, but more so being on this GLP-1 weight loss journey. A lot of people will do and try to live on the protein shakes or eat minimally. I think if I eat less, I'll lose more. And quite the opposite is true, because I had to learn that. Because through this journey, this is what, 8 months journey, it's several stalls. And the first stall that I hit, couldn't figure out why. I'm exercising, I'm not eating a lot, focusing on my protein, cut out, bread and this and that, figure I was doing everything right. Reading in the forums and also on nutritional calls, licensed nutritionist, I learned that depriving your body is not the key. You just have to have the right combination. Again, everybody is different. What will work for me may not work for you. And disclaimer, I am not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I am just a woman on a weight loss journey, on a quest to get healthy. And I'm just sharing my journey with you and sharing things with you that have worked for me or that I've learned worked for me to help me lose the weight. One of the things is that you cannot starve yourself. You cannot yourself of the calories and certain things. I have used the TDEE calculator. You can go and Google it and you pull it up and you enter, it asks you some questions and you just answer it accordingly. And I have been using that, but I've been doing this for so long that I can eyeball things and I kind of know how much to eat. In the beginning, I was tracking everything. Everything that goes in my mouth, I was tracking. But I find that for me, that was kind of triggering and got kind of tedious for me, and it was frustrating me. I forgot to do this, or I forgot to sit there. But no hit on anyone that's doing that and it's working for you. Fine, continue. It's just that I have to stop, because I want to be able to trust myself with food. I want to be able to trust my body when it speaks to me and says, you need more protein or I need more carbs, and know that none of these foods are bad, and that I know to portion the right amount that is right for me and my body. I know I said a mouthful, but I just felt that I needed to get out there, because there's people that starting this journey every day. Looked at a YouTube video this morning, and the person was talking about starting the medication and they weren't losing weight, and I guess their doctor put them on the highest dose, which is like, whoa, wait a minute. But anyway, I say that to say this: you have to give it time. We didn't gain the weight overnight. I've been heavy, like I said, since I was like 10 years old, and been battling weight back and forth my whole adult life. We didn't gain the weight overnight. It's a process, and we have to give our bodies time to adjust. Like I said in my previous video, it's the time I get to a certain weight, my body holds on. And so I have learned to just stop, relax, continue what I'm doing, and let my body adjust. And since I've been doing that, it may be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks that I stay at the same weight. I bounce around the same 3 to 5 pounds. And I just continue to do the same thing. I continue to work out. I continue to, what I eat, make sure I'm getting my protein, make sure I'm drinking my water. Just continue to do what I do, and I let my body do what it needs to do to adjust. And in a couple of weeks, the weight starts to come off again. So again, you just have to be in tune and learn and be patient. It's a journey, and it's going to take time. And I know a lot of people will say, well, you've already lost the weight. Yes, I have. But I've walked that walk from January 24th to now, October 24th, actually. Yeah, so January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 9 months to the day. I didn't even realize that. It's 9 months to the day I've been on this journey. And it hasn't been easy. There's nothing easy about this journey. A lot of people will say, oh, they're cheating and blah, blah, blah. I said in my previous video, there's nothing cheating about this. You have to put in the work. And for everyone that's starting this journey or has been on this journey and you're not losing the weight, look and see what you're doing. You have to exercise. You have to build muscle. And then when you build muscle more than fat, you're going to put on weight, but it's going to balance out, because when you put on the muscle burns fat. So eventually something has to shift. But I guess in our minds, the has put out there is like, the miracle drug. Yes, it's a miracle drug because it's getting our hormones back in check, and it's balancing out the things in our body that are right. It's gotten rid of the inflammation and the water weight, and things are balancing out. And the medication does that first. The weight loss is just a plus. It's just a plus. So again, you have to give the medication time, and you have to give your body time. Another disclaimer, there are people in the studies that the medication didn't work for, right? But again, speak to your medical provider and see what can be done. There's a lot of medications that you can add with this. I'm not going to call any names because I don't want anybody running out there and I said, but talk to your provider. There's a lot of medications that you can add with the GLP-1 that will aid in your weight loss if the GLP-1 is not working for you. And again, which one are you on? Maybe it's not right for you. There's several out there, Zepbound, there's Tirzepatide, there's Wegovy, Mounjaro, several medications out there. So talk to your provider or your health company and just see what's right for you. Maybe the medication that you're on is not the right one for you. But don't just throw your hands up, weeks or whatever and say it's not working. Just sit and see what's really happening. What are you doing? Is it really the medication, or are you not doing what you're supposed to do? You got to put in the work. I'm sorry to tell you, you have to put in the work. It's plain and simple. So with that being said, I know I've taken up a lot of the time, but I just needed to get that out there. I'm just going to show you the basics of how I put the meal together. And what I'm making today is spinach chicken. And I was going to make cilantro rice, lime rice, but I bought the cilantro about maybe 3 days ago, and I pulled it out the refrigerator and it's already slimy. So I a few pieces off and washed it. I thought that was, to put in my rice. So I'm gonna use that, but I'm gonna use mostly basil. So I'm gonna make some basil / cilantro rice. I'm making up my own stuff here. Anyway, another thing I wanna say is that I've just recently added rice back to my diet. I had taken rice out totally. And that, again, for me, that worked. At that time, I didn't need that. I didn't want any spikes in my blood sugar or anything. I just took rice out of my diet, and I've been slowly adding it back for the last, I want to say maybe month or so. I've added rice back to my regimen. I add like the word diet, lifestyle change. I don't care how you want to say or how you want to put it. It's a lifestyle change and it's a mindset change. You have to have those two things, or this is not going to work for you. If you just want to continue to do the same old thing, once you stop taking the medication, the weight is going to come back. And my thing is, I'm on a journey to get healthy, to be the best me I can be. And in order to do that, I have to change my lifestyle. I have to change the way I eat. I have to change the things that I eat. Do I still enjoy things that I used to eat? Yes, I do, but in moderation. And there's some things I have no desire for. There's some things I used to eat that I have no desire for. And again, it could be the medication. Once I come off the medication, because I don't intend to stay on it for a lifetime, maybe those things will come back. But as of now, I have no desire. And since I have no desire, guess what? Those things are out of my diet. I don't eat them. I'm fine. Anyway, let's get to it. I'm going to turn the camera down. I'm still going to be speaking, and I'll show you what I have here and how I put the meal together. So I think I have to turn this off. Okay. So I'm just going to show you what I have here. Is that in view? Okay. So you may call this cheating. Yes, I'm cheating. So what I usually do is I buy a rotisserie chicken and I will strip it down. I'll take the skin off and look like this, right? I'll just strip off what I want and I'll put the rest in the fridge. Here I have some red and white onions. These I pickle them, and I pickle them because I just like flavoring my food. And these are also pickled bell peppers. Here I have some cilantro cut up. And this is the basil. I use the basil paste. And again, this is why I buy a lot of things like frozen and and stuff, because I don't use it every day and it's a spoil. And I just feel like it's a waste of money, and I have a lot of it. And so I just find other ways to things that I need. Here I also some fresh cut up green peppers, red peppers, and yellow peppers, bell peppers. I get them and I cut them up and I freeze them. And I just take them out and I use it, need to work smarter, not harder. There's also some red onion here and some white onions that I'm going to add. Here I have my frozen spinach. Again, I could have done fresh spinach, but I'm choosing to do frozen spinach because, again, I probably won't use it after now for a while. I'm not going to buy fresh spinach. It's expensive. So I'm just going to share with you my jars. This is my pickled bell pepper in this jar. This is my pickled red onion, and this is my pickled white onion. And those I have already cut up here. In this pot, I'm going to put my rice. I've washed my rice. I have to wash my rice. And this is jasmine rice. I don't know how many of you know that jasmine rice is more about steam and not water. And I usually cook my rice with bone broth. I put, this much and the rest water. Again, I don't measure. I just eyeball things. I've been doing this for so long that I just kind of want in my pot. So I know some people are very thing of measuring. I don't measure. So I'm going to get some water from and add my bone broth. This is like maybe a cup of water. Again, I can just eyeball it. So to that, I'm going to add the bone broth. I'm just eyeballing it. The rest of that, I'm going to put it in with the chicken and the spinach. I'm going to put this on the stove and bring it to a boil before I add the rice. While that's coming to a boil, I'm going to get my pan that I'm going to do the chicken and the spinach in. So I'm going to bring you guys over here. So I have it's closer. I have my oils here. So I'm going to probably use a little bit of chili oil and garlic oil to saute my bell peppers, just because I like spicy. Put on the wrong burner. I think once I put the rice in there, I'm gonna add a little bit more water. So as that comes to a boil, I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of butter. This is almost gone. I use country crock plant butter, the avocado one. I don't even have a teaspoon in here. Realize that it was almost done. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take this off the fire while I deal with this. I season this. I use a little bit of adobo, garlic. I just use the off-brand onion powder, and sometimes I'll use fresh garlic, but I didn't have any, and I didn't want to go back out just to get garlic. So then now I'll add the paste. And this I'll kind of measure out, because if you overdo it, it just, to me, just has a yucky taste. It doesn't have that nice flavor. So this I'll kind of measure so I don't use too much. And then I'll just add this little bit of cilantro that I have here. I usually add it at the end, but because I had to throw most of it away, I'm just going to use a little bit. Hey, beautiful. You got a text message. I'll show you how I put my rice together. So that's boiling. Stir that up. What I do, this is just a thing with me. Put my pot on a rack. So does it have direct with the heat? So it cooks, to me it cooks more evenly and it doesn't burn. This is just a thing that I do. So I'm going to add my rice. I said I'm going to add, I could see that I needed to add more water in there. So I'm going to add some more water. And I'll get some hot water from the cooler, since that water is already hot. I don't want to put cold water in there. This is about another cup of, and so just stir everything up in there. That's how it's looking. It's okay, guys. I'm new at this, so bear with me. I'll get it eventually. Okay. So just stir that up in there. Make sure everything stirred up, and then I'll let that come to a boil, and then I'll show you how I cover it. I come to a boil. I'm going to get stir fry my vegetables in there in that pot. Test my oil. Get in there. I know this is going to probably be super long. These in there, and then I'll add some of these that weren't pickled. And then I cut these out. I buy them and I freeze them, and I just take out what I need. I'm gonna get some of the yellow ones. I love onions. I love red onions and white onions. So I use a lot of onions in my dishes. I don't use yellow onions because I don't like how they taste, and to me they get slimy very quickly and they can spoil your food. So I tend not to use yellow onions. Again, personal preference. I'm not bashing anybody that likes yellow onions. It's just my preference and what I have observed over the years in cooking. I'll just let that simmer in there and, let it down. I shouldn't say fry, but saute, because I'm not really frying them. Just let the water come off of it, because they're frozen, they'll spring water first before they start to cook down. I've got the rice in there. I'm waiting for it to come to a boil, and then I'll cover it. I'll show you guys how I cover it. Things away. I clean up as I go along, so I don't have it hear me in the background. That's what I'm doing. Just putting stuff away. Turn this down a little bit, maybe another 2 minutes or so, and then I'll put the chicken in. Put a little seasoning. Last thing I'll add, because it's frozen, it'll spring some water. So I want the vegetables and the chicken to be sauteed first before I put this spinach in there. I think enough water has come off of this. Go ahead and put the chicken in there. So that's how that's looking. I'm going to add some seasoning to it and then cover it for a little bit. And then I'll add some peppers. Picking. I'm not endorsed by any products. I have to keep saying that because I don't want to get banned. I don't want to get tagged. You know, it's so funny these days. You have to be careful what you're saying when you're using other people's products. So everything is mixed in. And I'll add a little bit. I do a little bit of cumin. Cumin just enhances the flavor. Using almost everything. And I like this This is on the Caribbean seasoning. I like it, and it adds a nice color to your food. Hey everyone, I apologize. The video cut off. So here I'm showing you the finished dish. It's the chicken and spinach, the basil, cilantro, jasmine rice. And here I'm showing you it plated with some sweet plantains. And this container is my meal prep container. What you see there in the container is about maybe 320 calories.